Bonjour, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is in a good mood again. So we will proceed with the agenda. Donc, Madame la greffière.
We have an agenda before us to be approved.
C'est beau. So do I have a mover and a seconder for the agenda? Conseiller Crossman, Conseiller Léger. Are there questions on the agenda? If not, we will go to a show of hands, right, Madame la greffière? Donc, unanimous. Merci. Madame la greffière.
Could the two counselors online state their vote for the agenda?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Merci.
Next would be the reading of the meeting notice. Please be advised that there will be a special public meeting of City Council in Council Chambers, City Hall, Moncton, New Brunswick, on November 6, 2025, at 9 a.m. for the consideration of the following: reports from administration, the 2026 operating capital and utility budget summary, resolutions, and adjournment.
Merci, Madame la greffière. So we have one report from administration. Is that you, Jacques? I've never done this before, so voila.
All right, thank you, Your Worship. So today what we're going to do at first, we will start off. We will vote on the park motions. So those are the ones that were made by council during deliberations. So we'll start voting on those three. Currently, right now, the three motions on the table are for council contingency. So that would mean that they do not impact the tax rate or anything like that. In the event that a motion would be amended or something like that, we would then, and it would have an impact on the tax rate or the user rates for utility, then after voting on those three motions, we would need to go and update the resolutions. But if the three motions on the table today are passed, we can go directly to the resolutions and vote on them. So I would suggest the first thing we're going to do is go through the motions, unless there are questions from council before we get through the motions.
So are there questions from council? Merci, Jacques. Conseiller Bourgeois.
Je veux juste m'assurer que on a...
I just want to make sure that we voted against the 15 new members. So essentially, what you presented in our budget here is what the CRPA had presented as there no additional members. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Okay, thank you. So how do we proceed now? Councillor Butler.
To be looked at, and I spoke to Jacques about it. We get a rebate back from the RCMP of 10 from the federal government, the Treasury Board, of 10% from a 90-10 split. And a part of that is, most of it is because of how much they depend on the amount of federal work that the RCMP do. And that falls underneath drugs, organized crime. There's a number of lists of what they're supposed to enforce for that 10%. But I would like for us to have a breakdown of how much work is done federally. So if they do more than 10%, and I've asked the superintendent here at different times, we well know that when he comes here, we talk about the drugs, open air drug use, issues like that. So when we do that, I would like to have a breakdown. So if it's more than 10%, then our rebate or subsidy should reflect it. Because when we do that with the 70-30 split, we do 70%, then the split between Riverview and DF, that changes all the time. We should also, that's big money to us when they're doing more federal policing than municipal. So that should reflect on the way we get paid on the rebate. So I'll leave that with Jacques to maybe write up a proposal how we can look at that contractual agreement for that 90-10.
Yeah, no, thank your worship to Councillor Butler. That's what we'll do. We'll kind of meet as a leadership team with Jeff and Serge and Nick and legal, and we'll raise this with the CRPA and also the membership to just start tracking that and actually get more information so that we can actually see where that stands.
Yeah, as we know, data is sometimes hard to get, but let's give it a
Yep.
try.
Thank you, Councillor Butler. No other questions, so Jacques?
Yeah, so I think now what we'll go through is the motion. So Shelley will, we'll start with the first one so that the motion that City Council approve a 40,000 feasibility study for a recreational community center in the Salisbury Road area, and that this study be funded by the Council Contingency Fund.
Merci, Jacques. This was moved by Conseiller Bourgeois and
seconded by Leger.
seconded by Conseiller Léger. So how do we vote?
So now we vote.
Electronic? Okay, so we will go unless there are questions.
Any question?
No? So we will go to electronic vote.
Councillor Steves, Councillor Kingston, could you cast your votes? Councillor Kingston.
Sorry, I did hit the yay, block here. It puts, okay.
Okay, we'll record you as a yay.
We'll hit confirm vote, I guess. That would do it.
And Conseiller Leblanc is not here, right?
No, yes.
So the,
nine yays.
the motion passes unanimously. Merci. Jacques.
Thank you. We'll pull the second motion.
So has everyone read the motion? And it's moved by Conseiller Richard and seconded by Conseiller Bourgeois.
So this motion would be that Moncton City Council approve a $250,000 increase from the Council Contingency Fund for additional street calming initiatives, moved by Councillor Richard, seconded by Councillor Bourgeois.
We will go to the vote. Are there questions? Conseiller Bourgeois.
Ouais, j'avais une question par rapport.
Yes, I have a question on the previous motion, but also one on this motion. First of all, you have to check to see if it's 300,000. I have no problems taking $40,000 from the 2025 budget because it doesn't say from which years of contingency. Is there an explanation there? Or, yeah, with the council contingency fund, it's not an expense account, it's a balance sheet account. So it doesn't get, doesn't get eliminated. So it doesn't really matter what year you take it out of. Whatever is left over from last year is put into future years. So it really doesn't change anything. Currently, we have about $152,000 in it, but I think certain items are going to come in under budget, so we'll be closer to 300,000. So if there are any funds left over, we'll roll them over to 2026, and if we spend it, well, then that'll eat into 2026's fund. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Richard. Thank you, Madam Mayor. A question for Jacques. I understand the council contingency. It's like a big pot and money comes in and goes out, whatever. But my motion for 2026 is this one. But if I wanted to add $250,000 to future years,
instead of 500,000 every year going forward, can we have it at 750,000 going forward until needed? At some point, there'll be a break where we won't have as many traffic calming, requests.
Yeah, so you could make that motion if you want to, but really, we're only voting on the 26 budget year, so it would be next year's council at the end that will vote on the capital budget for 2027.
Yeah, I understand that, but staff is going to be putting in like you guys had already marked in the 500,000
Yep.
for 27, 28, 29 going forward. So that's what I was hoping that I'd be able to add to the motion saying that instead of having it 500,000 in the oncoming years, have it at 750.
Yeah, so I think it could be, it certainly, again, the motion could be made. It would be more symbolic again, because when the new council comes in May, they're going to set their new priorities and set their, so again, it could be made, it won't be binding or anything, so it could be made symbolically, but it will be the new council that will vote on that.
Okay, so I could make that amendment, or do we just need an agreement between me and Councillor Bourgeois to make the change? Make the motion to amend? I can't amend that one? Oh, so I would make a new motion after that? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I'll set
as
that.
long as you know it's not binding.
I
like,
understand, yeah, I'm just making the point that the traffic calming is doing a good job. Oh, legal.
Yes, so I think it's a motion to direct administration to include, because again, that's
Yeah.
kind of how, because again, it's not binding or anything.
That's
so.
okay, I just wanted to
Yep.
understand. So then, after we've done this, I'll make a motion
Yep.
for that directive?
Yep.
Perfect, merci beaucoup.
Merci, conseiller Richard. Conseiller Léger.
Merci, Madame la Mairesse. Can I just get some clarification related to what the $250,000 will look like in terms of traffic calming measures? That was an amount that was chosen, and I don't have much background on it. The traffic measures are working, but they're only as good as the availability of staff and resources to be able to implement them. So perhaps maybe speak to, I guess, your current budget. Are you spending everything possible in the current budget you have for traffic calming? And maybe just explain where the $250,000 additional can go to making the streets safer.
Thank you. Appreciate the question, Conseiller Leger. As you're familiar, we do receive quite a bit of requests for traffic calming, and through our policy, there's a lot of those streets that do qualify. For all the streets that we've looked at and that do qualify, we're looking at millions of dollars in qualifying measures. So obviously, we're in a situation where we have to prioritize our program. And so the need is there for sure. We're into a backlog situation because the program is fairly new. Most of those measures are permanent, so they are asphalted speed bumps or raised crosswalks. So once they're in, there's really no maintenance per se. There are operational impacts when it comes to installing the delineators and the crosswalk bollards for sure. But the bulk of that money would be for permanent installation. Where we can spend that money, there's really various ways to look at it. The streets that were proposed for 2026, as you'll notice, were shorter sections because we had some longer streets in there, namely Ryan, Highland View, Hennessy, and Frampton. So we could use that extra money to complete those streets or sections or longer sections, or we can look at our list and see what was the next street that had the highest score. So the need is there for sure, and we'll definitely make great use of that money.
So can I make a suggestion perhaps then? If the need is there, and to date you've been doing smaller sections because there's not, but you've identified that a longer section would be better, then why can't it be then that that requests come to council related to, look, this is the option. This is what we're going to do with the money that we currently have.
Mhm.
And if we had an additional $40,000, we could do all of Ryan or whatever the street is, and then perhaps address it that way, as opposed to this particular. That was, I mean, and I think if we were more aware of that, then we can budget accordingly. The contingency fund wasn't designed as just to pick and choose like that, right? There are some things that we've missed. This one, I feel that we shouldn't have missed it. I'm okay with the additional funding, but in the future, I think to serve the new council well would be to do that. And then just explain what it is. You have a lot of requests. I get it. I understand that. But, just be more, I get it. Maybe we just need to be transparent, and maybe we need to better understand the process so that, we can achieve the goals that everybody wants. And so, anyway, and Jacques is nodding, so perhaps that's something that, staff can take back and maybe find a way to give us those alternatives. And that's something that we can consider, and the new council can consider through the year, and not, and then it also realistically addresses the true needs and the true costs. So just my comment on that, and hopefully that'll be maybe brought forward next year in that type of fashion. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Merci, Conseiller Léger. Before I go to Conseiller Bourgeois, is there anyone who hasn't spoken who wishes to ask a question? Donc, Conseiller Bourgeois, go ahead.
Merci, Madame la maire. J'ai surtout des commentaires sur la deuxième résolution.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just have comments on the second resolution, but I'll wait for those. But I want to make sure that we understand correctly. The council's first priority, I mean, there's about half a dozen of them, but our first priority is public safety. And this is an element of public safety. So I'm not saying that the budget didn't reflect our strategic plan, that we're limited and so on, but I supported this resolution from Councillor Richard because if this can help save lives or prevent people from getting run over by cars or bicyclists or whoever, I completely agree with adding this year from the contingency fund. We can discuss where it comes from in following years and in the next resolution. But thank you, Your Worship.
That Moncton, just a second, I better grab my computer. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Justin. That Moncton City Council approved 250,000 increase from the council contingency fund for an additional street calming initiative, moved by Councillor Richard, seconded by Councillor Bourgeois.
Merci, Madame la Greffière. So no other questions. We'll go to the vote. So electronic vote again. Conseiller Kingston and Conseiller Steves.
Yay.
C'est bon, merci.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried unanimously. Merci.
We can do the next one, and then after that, we can.
Okay.
Do you want the next
Yeah.
or the one that Councillor?
No, let's go through the next one, and then after that,
C'est bon. Merci, Jacques.
Ebony.
Parce qu'elle est bonne, la bonne.
Right? Let's do the entire city. And oh, yeah.
Forgot my, I didn't carry over. Yeah.
Merci, Madame la Greffière. So, Jacques,
All right, the last motion that was submitted during deliberation, that Moncton City Council approved $40,000 for a covered shelter at Knox Parks, and that these funds be taken from the council contingency fund. Moved by Councillor Butler, seconded by Councillor Steves.
are there any questions on the motion? Il y en a pas?
Councillor Kingston.
Je vois
Oh,
pas.
no, never mind.
We're fine, there are no questions, so we will go to the vote.
Councillor Kingston. Councillor Kingston, Councillor Steves.
Ah, it's working.
Oh, good. Perfect.
C'est beau, thank you. Motion carried unanimously. Merci. Oh,
Oh,
Councillor
thank-
Butler,
No,
go
no,
ahead, please.
it's not on that. It's just over with the council contingency plan. So there was $300,000. And I understand where you come from because this really contingency fund for 2026 is really for the next council. For next year, because they will have a new council that comes in May. This will be theirs too. So there was $300,000 from last year, and there's another million being put in, so it's 1.3. So I think that we're just maybe $20,000 over. Is it? How much over did we go?
So based on allocated, like fully what council has approved, we're probably 250,000 over. That being said, our projections because there can be a difference between what council approves and the actual spend for the initiative. I think we're going to be pretty close to that amount. So for next year, if I were to very conservatively, I project we'll have that $1 million.
Okay, I just didn't want to be spending money here that next year's council wouldn't have. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Butler. Councillor Richard.
Councillor Kingston. Councillor Kingston.
Oh, sorry,
Councillor
Councillor Kingston, go ahead.
No, I didn't hit my button.
Showing off. Councillor Richard.
Merci beaucoup. So I would like to move for direction to staff to please raise the proposed future years to $750,000 from the $500,000 already in the 5-year capital works program in the sake of safety of public. I so move.
Merci. Councillor Richard, do I have a seconder for this motion? Yes, Councillor Crossman. So are there any questions? Councillor Bourgeois.
Councillor
Sorry,
Crossman.
Councillor Crossman.
Thank you, Your Worship. Councillor Richard, can you just finish your sentence to make sure that this is towards traffic calming?
Oui.
And from the
Oh.
Department of Engineering, before I second it, that's all? Just
Yeah,
if
I
you
can
don't
do that.
mind.
I knew what I was talking about, but
You did, but the public didn't.
right. Appreciate that. Yeah, so move for direction to staff to please raise the proposed future years of the traffic calming. Is that the best word? How would I word that, Jacques?
Traffic calming initiatives.
Okay. And I had the rest of it to, yeah. Merci beaucoup. Thanks, Councillor Crossman.
Merci, Councillor Bourgeois.
Councillor Bourgeois. Thank you, Your Worship. I agree in principle 100%, but I have a question. When the new council gets sworn in November 2026 for the 2026 fiscal year, they will receive this package containing information. So in the capital budget documents, the 5-year capital budget, we are approving for 5 years, but we are giving an indication of what we are planning to do on subsequent years. I think it would be clear for us to pass a budget with all of the capital expenditures, including the $750,000. I think we should pass it as is with the $500,000 amount, and then next year, I know you'll do it, and it's not like you're going to overlook that amount. but I think that officially, when it comes to adopting the capital budget, even if it covers years beyond 2026, for clarity's sake, I think it would be better to use this $750,000 amount for future years. Instead of having a personal direction, I think that the capital budget that we are to adopt today would include the $750,000 as of today. So I'd like to suggest something. I think it's okay, but the 2026 amount is funded from the council contingency fund. So maybe we could make changes to years 2, 3, and 4. But I'd like to amend what we're officially adopting today. The next council will be able to change it, but us, for the next 5 years, well, we can add that to the motion. Well, it would replace the motion. It's not the same thing. It's not like giving a personal direction. So the amendment would be for the capital budget on that line to have bring the amount from $500,000 to $750,000 for clarity's sake. Thank you, Councillor Bourgeois.
Crossman modify the motion that they have presently. Okay, est-ce que vous êtes d'accord?
Oui.
Vous êtes d'accord?
Do you agree on that? Yes.
I can say it.
Ah, c'est beau.
Yeah.
Vas-y, Jacques.
That Moncton City Council approved the increase in the 5-year capital budget for year 2 to year 5 for traffic calming initiatives to be at $750,000
Merci beaucoup, Jacques. Are there any
per year.
other
Yes.
questions?
Per year? That's
Yeah.
added?
Go ahead, Councillor Butler.
Yeah, thank you. So Jacques, with this, is this still like a symbolic
Yes.
that we're doing?
It's symbolic because, it's symbolic because there's many things that can happen. For example, as Councillor Léger mentioned, if there is a need and in the city and there's a backlog, and even with that 750, if it will take 10 years, maybe the next council would want to put, rather than doing 3 street reconstruction, they could do 2, and we could attack the entire city maybe in 2 years, right? So again, I think the point that council is trying to make is they are very supportive of traffic calming initiatives. For now, it's to one of the motions that Conseiller Richard has will increase it for the next basically 5 years with direct staff. The new council will vote on year over year depending on the priorities that they set. But there may also be things, for example, if for next year, if we come up with Conseil Léger's recommendation, okay, what does this look like in Wholesome? What do we vote for? And if we fit it in our capital budget and put 3 million to do the entire, to do more of the city, then again, I think administration's recommendation moving forward later on would be, okay, well, no, we've addressed our city. Now we just need to maintain with the new streets. We would need the 750 and that council would vote. So I think but it's still okay though, because what it does is by adding in year 2, 3, 4, and 5, it shows it's 750. So when we're going to present next year, if for some reason that we do more in year 1, we would have justification of the reasons why we reduced the 750 to maybe 200 moving forward, because we've addressed most of the city, right? So.
Yeah, so I guess my my concern is that most of the items that we passed today, the motions were all from the councilor's contingency fund, but this is not. This is coming.
That's right.
So my concern is regards to we still haven't got anything back from the provincial government regards to where this tax assessment is going. It's nice to think that they're going to take the freeze off, but we're not sure yet. We have nothing in writing. My concern is the tax rate for the residents. Could it move when we start doing things like this with the capital budget?
So just based on like what I see if it increases by 250, I mean, one of the easiest suggestions to protect the taxpayer for me would be to reduce the amount of street reconstruction we do. Because again, when we pave new streets, people go faster. So it's one that goes hand in hand. So I think that would be, we didn't have direction to increase our capital budget. So I think, again, it's priorities wherever we take, because we have an average bonding of over the 5 year. I don't think the motion has been to increase that. It's just a reprioritization of 250,000 that would need to be done within the capital budget.
Something has to move, something has to give. So in other words, we give money to traffic calming, it's got to be taken away from someplace else.
Normally, yes, that would be the case. But there's many factors that will
No.
come in, assessment and new construction and things like that can impact. But there are also negative factors that could come in as well. So at 250 on a $93 million capital spend, I'm comfortable with that. But if it was, 3 million per year, then I would say, okay, well, there's something that probably will need to drop off.
Okay, well, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Butler. If there are no other questions, could we have the motion read, please? Madame Lagrafia.
Justin, can you bring it up? Thank you. Motion that Moncton City Council approve the increase for traffic calming initiatives for the capital budgets for the next 5
Nope.
years. No?
No. So for the capital budget, for year 2, 3, 4, and 5 to 750. So you could do 2027 to 2030 and do, they're not the next 5 years, but the last 4 years of the capital budget. 7 to 30. Or just say 27 to 30. Yeah.
Is everyone comfortable with the motion? Conseiller Richard?
The last phrase that I had said was it was in the sake of public safety or the safety of the public. Honestly.
C'est beau. So we can go to the electronic vote. Merci.
Conseiller Bourgeois.
Oh, Conseiller Bourgeois did, no, we're going to the vote. Conseiller Kingston and Conseiller Steves. Thank you so much. Motion carried unanimously. Merci. Jacques.
So now we will go to that, unless council has another motion to make, this would be the time. If not, we will move to voting on the budget resolutions.
These are found in eScribe.
Donc, est-ce que je les ai devant moi?
Are you starting with?
Do I have those resolutions in front of me?
Donc, Jacques, c'est toi qui vas lire la résolution.
So Jacques, you're going to read the resolution?
Meeting dated November 6, 2025, Moncton City Council approved the following, whereas the City Council of the City of Moncton has adopted a 2026 capital works budget, be it resolved that the City of Moncton submit to the Municipal Capital Borrowing Board an application for authorization to borrow and guarantee the repayment of monies borrowed or deemed borrowed for a capital expense for the following purpose, terms, and amounts. General Government Services, $265,000, term 5 years. Transportation Services, $8,729,000, term 10 years. Recreation and Cultural Services, $1,617,000 for 5 years. Recreation and Cultural Services, $13,800,000, 10 years. General Capital total, $24,411,000, 24,411,000. Environmental Health Services Utility, $7,642,000, 5 years. Utility capital, $7,642,000 for a grand total of $32,053,000.
Merci, Madame la greffière. I need a mover and a
Thank you, Madam City Clerk.
Conseiller Léger. C'est beau. Are there questions on this? Conseiller Butler, go ahead.
I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but that in the recreation and culture for 13,800,000. Is that part of the recommendation for the pool?
No, the big bulk of that in that section would be the downtown development, because again, we're only in 2026, right? The aquatic facility is scheduled for 27.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Gotta keep.
If there are no other questions, we will move. Do we move to vote now? Oui. Donc, electronic. See you, Kingston and Steves. Motion carried unanimously. Merci. Madame la greffière.
Madam City Clerk.
The general operating fund now?
Yep.
Okay, I will read. This is to certify that the 6th day of November 2025, the Council of the Local Government of the City of Moncton resolved that the sum of $242,700,986 be the total operating budget for the local government, that the sum of $201,752,006 be the warrant for the local government for the ensuing year, and that the tax rate for the local government be be as listed above, which is non-residential tax ratio is 1.7. And heavy industrial tax rate is 1.7. That correct, Jacques?
Yes.
Thank you. That council orders and directs the levying by the Minister of Local Government and Local Government Reform of said amount on real property tax is to be under the Assessment Act within the local government of the City of Moncton, adopted the 6th day of November 2025 by the Council of the Local Government of the City of Moncton.
Do I need a mover and a seconder for this? So I do need a mover, Conseiller Léger, and a seconder, Conseiller Crossman. C'est bon, merci. Are there questions? If Conseiller Kingston is okay and Conseiller Steves, so we will go to the electronic vote. Thank you. Motion carried unanimously. Merci.
Next would be the water and wastewater for 2026. This is certified that the 6th day of November 2025, the Council of the Local Government of City of Moncton resolved that the pursuant to subsection 117.4 of the Local Governance Act, that the total budget for the wastewater utility for the ensuing year would consist of total revenues of $47,786,883, and the total expenditures of $47,786,833, adopted on the 6th day of November 2025 by the Council of the Local Government of the City of Moncton.
So I need a mover, Conseiller Léger, Conseiller Butler. Any questions on this? If there are no questions, we will go to the vote, electronic again. Conseiller Stevenson in Kingston. Thank you. Merci. Motion carried unanimously.
Jacques, you have anything else?
No, that is it. I would just like to thank council for a great 3 days of discussions. So thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup.
Conseiller-
Conseiller Légère, do you wish to speak?
Merci, Madame la Mairesse. I'd also like to thank all of
Thank you, Your Worship.
the thoughtfulness in this budget. I think all of us on council would agree that maybe at least I can speak about my expectations was a little bit different than what I saw presented, which was far better than I had anticipated. And so I really have seen so much progress in terms of all the work you do. And it was certainly probably the best budget that I've seen. So I thank you very much and merci à tous.
Thank you. Merci, Conseiller Bourgeois.
Merci, Madame la Mairesse.
Thank you, Councillor Bourgeois. Thank you, Your Worship. There's a question that just came to my mind. We just passed the operational budget, including zero increase for the RCMP. So the 3 municipalities will pass the same resolution, but that's different from what was presented by the CRP. If there's a disagreement, then I'd be surprised, but the minister may decide to intervene and make a decision. So what happens to the budget if that happens? Does it need to be reapproved, amended, just in case? Well, that's something that is provided for.
Ça dépend du timing.
So it depends on when the approval is made. So if the minister makes a decision in the next 2 months, there would be a financial impact and it would have to be absorbed somehow in the budget, depending on the amount. And we'd have to have a session of council and ask for permission to overspend or something like that. If it's like last time where the minister just made a decision in the month of June of the preceding year, in such a case,
vacancies qui ont dans leur budget.
if we think about the 25 to 30 vacancies that they have in their budget, by the time they approve the positions, the budget, and that they get the resources, I would say that the financial impact would be minimal. So we don't have a reserve for public safety services, right? Well, we have the RCMP reserve, and that's what we would use should that happen. So I agree with you that depending on the timing, but let's say there's a difference, there's a $2 million difference. Would there be enough monies in the fund to cover that? Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you, Councillor Bourgeois.
2008. This is by far the best budget presentation that we have received. Donc, Jacques, Greg,
So
everyone.
Jacques, Greg,
Very moved because I will not be running again, as you all know. So this is my last budget deliberation. And really, it's been a pleasure. Donc, merci à vous tous. Merci, chers collègues.
thank you all. Thank you, my colleagues. Serge?
Monsieur Richard, allez-y, le conseil.
Councillor Richard, please have the floor.
Let's do it.